For the second season in a row, we're taking it to the final kicks of the season. It's playoff national time as we take on the national semis and hopefully the final. To see how we get on, stay tuned in. Roll intro. Hello and welcome to episode 17 of Non-League's Glory. I'm Adam, and on today's episode we have our home game against Dagenham and Redbridge in the playoff semi-final. Since you were last with us, which was after the Hartlepool and Fylde defeats, embarrassing, disgusting defeats, we then beat Woking 2-0 thanks to Whittaker and Kimpioka, lost to Torquay 1-0. We then beat Dagenham, who we play today, 2-0 thanks to our guys' 2 goals. Chorley at home 4-0 thanks to a guy, Kimpioka, Otranto and Zerbin. We then beat Yeovil 3-1 thanks to Magoma, Agai and Zerbin. We then drew 1-0 with Barrow thanks to a goal from Crossdale, and 1-0 against Barnet thanks to a goal from Crossdale, before losing to Halifax, and then we end up here. We've also, in transfers, managed to bring in Daniel Agai, who we'll talk about in a second, Jason Kikonda and Ethan Robson. Now, a guy comes in on loan. We are paying him £1,500 per week. It is until the end of the season. I do have the spare budget, so it was worth bringing him in. He's a 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, does play at the advanced forward, which suits our formation and the way we play. He scored, let's have a look at his form, he scored 4 goals for us consecutively against Dagenham, who we played today, Chorley and Yeovil, before he had an injury, out for 2 games, came back against Halifax, so should be refreshed for today. Jason Kikonda, thanks to our lovely scouting budget, we were able to send somebody across and look at him. He's a 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, and is a central midfielder who can also play defensive midfield. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He comes in from Paris FC, and we did pay £40,000 for him. And he has played in League 2 in France last season and 2 games this season before dropping to their reserve team. I'll talk about why we did sign him in a little minute, because we also brought in Ethan Robson, who can play in the central midfield as that deep line playmaker, and he's a 3-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, who has played for Sunderland in League 1 this season. That doesn't bode well when you look at how the mighty have fallen, because if we go up and Sunderland come down, we will be playing them next season, because they have gone down with Forest Green, Doncaster and Wimbledon. In terms of transfers out, Aaron Sibia has left, joined Kingsland Town for 2.2k, and Ethan Wader, who has gone to New York Cosmos on loan. Viola, I think we spoke about. If we go to the transfer centre, you'll see a lot of youngsters here from the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City and Chelsea, who we've signed on pre-deals, all breakthrough prospects, all on £65, £75, £85 per week. They are nothing out of the ordinary. They are probably better than we've got in our development squads, and potentials for some to challenge for first team places regardless of what division we're in next season, and so they needed to be made. You'll see also Dexter Akubueni Barker, who was a youth player, was supposed to sign, and I released him by accident, and I wanted him back, so we've offered him, and he's signing a youth contract on £5 a week. What that does is mean that in regards to finances, we had £19,000 to spend on wages. We are currently spending £15,000, but by the time the season's ended, we'll be back down to that just under £10,000 mark, which means we will have a lovely £10,000 to play with should the budgets remain the same next season. If we go up, I'd like to think they'd go up more than that. We have £82,000 in the transfer budget, thanks to deals for players that's left, including, if we go back to it, Steve Tunga, who I mentioned hasn't set the ground alight, is joining Wimbledon for £150,000. Now, considering that we got him on a free transfer from Borussia Dortmund, played 12 games and we got £150,000, I'm quite happy with that. We have, if we have a look at the job centre, applied for some jobs. I'm currently applying for the Dundee United job. I'm not going to get it. We have had interviews at Burton Albion, who incidentally have been relegated from the Championship. We have had interviews at Doncaster and Wickham, and nothing more than that. So we will remain with Alfreton Town for now, although we are keeping our eye out open for something else. But it would have to be something much better than what we've got at the moment, especially if we go up, because we'll be in League 2, and so it would take a League 1 job for us to leave Alfreton, I think, at this moment in time. That brings us on to today's game against Dagenham and Redbridge, and the team we're going to put out to do that, and I'll explain why, is Dewhurst in goal, Johnson on the right, Odesina and Odimeo in the centre, Sola on the left. We have Otranto, Kikonda and Magoma in the centre, Zerbin on the left, Kimpioka on the right and Agai up front. The reason why we signed Kikonda and Robson was because that would allow me to drop Otranto back because of Tunga and basically the lack of defensive midfield, people taking the chances since VC left. So that allows us to put Otranto back, move Magoma over to the left, bring Kikonda in on that right of the centre, and a guy up top. We have changed to a balanced mentality, so a few little tweaks since the form started to edge out of the window, and it does seem to have worked so far. So today's game comes from Alfreton, and let's do it for the fans at home in the semi-final. Let's do it for them. Barnet playing Torquay in the other game, and that will be important to who goes up. And let me do this, let me get it back down to where it should be, and it's Zerbin. Zerbin takes a shot and it just skims the crossbar and goes out. 3 shots, none on target so far, controlling possession in this early stages. Torquay lead Barnet 1-0, Bishop a 2-0 Whitfield. So Torquay looking to put their place early in the final. We are still battling here. It's 0-0, and so far we've had one highlight, and it's Zerbin who's done that. A guy not featured as yet. 62% possession, 9 shots, 4 on target, and we don't see many highlights. Go out and play your game. If we do play our game, we should beat them. We've beat them twice already, and so I mean, you've beat Dagenham twice and we're now struggling for heart, and this has been a problem. We can see Torquay are now 3-1 up against Barnet. We're approaching the 60th minute. I'm hesitant to change it because this is the best team, but we are going to have to. Let's just see this highlight first. Let's see what happens. Johnson, Otranto, we nearly need him to be magical today. Magoma, Otranto finds Sola. Sola crosses it in. There's Agai, and it's in. Agai has scored. 69 minutes gone. Sola with the assist. Agai's hit his 7th of the season. I think it's his 5th goal for us of the season. And that is 1-0. Otranto finds Sola in acres of space. Sola quickly whips it in. A guy with the header, and the keeper gets to it, but just not enough on it. And we are 1-0 up. And if things stay the same, we are heading to the final. What looks to be Torquay, who's gone 4-1 up. Do we need to make changes? I'm looking at Zerbin at the moment, and so Whitaker is going to come on, and we're going to leave him in that position. De La Fuente is another one that can come in, but I'm not sure at the moment I want to change it that much. Kikonda isn't having a great game, so we are going to bring Robson on, but we're going to make Robson play as that deep lying playmaker, and hopefully that is enough to see us through, with one more substitution probably to come. Torquay 4-1. Let's make that final substitution. It is going to be De La Fuente who comes on for Odimeo. With 3 minutes added on time, I think we are through to the playoff final. We are. You've done well to get to the final. We will contest the final with Torquay, Bishop with 2, Whitfield and Andrews as they destroy Barnet. And if we look at that table and we see that Torquay come with that run at the end, they're on finished on 77 points, have dispatched Barnet, who were only 2 points behind us and some 15 points ahead of Torquay. Now on to the Torquay game. This is the National League playoff final and we're at Wembley Stadium. We have not beaten Torquay this season. We've drawn and we've lost to Torquay, and we've lost recently as well. And the team we're going to put out to do it, bearing in mind that Dewhurst is now on international duty with the England under-20s, means it's Dubai who takes over in goal. Johnson, Odesina, Odemeo and Sola at the back, Otranto and Kikonda in midfield, but Magoma is only going to be on the bench, and that is because he's carrying an injury, and so Robson's going to play there. Zerbin on the left, Kimpioka on the right, and Agay up front. The bench consists of Karamatang, De La Fuente, Whitaker, Magoma and Aina, as we look to gain back-to-back promotions into the Football League and professional status. I really don't want to put too much pressure on them. If we play to our game, we will win, and we are very capable of that. And that is the message as I lead the team out at Wembley. Torquay have the top scorer in the division and have been on a run to get here. We have been at the top all season with Barnet and Aldershot, and I hope we don't fall at the last stage. They have a free kick and it's Andrews that steps up, and Andrews is saved by Dubai, who is covering for international duty Dewhurst. Andrews with the corner, he gets it in and Dubai collects that up, and it remains 0-0 and a fairly balanced game at the moment. Otranto really needs to start to make things tick. This is a big game and he needs to step up in this game, and they've got another highlight. It's Andrews and they get it across, and we finally get it off the line and out. And at the moment, Torquay would be people's favourites to go through based on what we've seen. Zerbin doesn't look like he's having a good game. Kimpioka and Sola and Kikonda haven't stepped up as yet, and we may have to make some changes. Passionately keen to avenge what last happened, and we're going to give it 10 minutes and then we might have to make some changes. It is 0-0, so you don't want to be going for suicide changes and go all out attack, but we are going to have to try and change this up because we're not having anything in the game. Zirkin is poor, Whitaker's going to come on, Kikonda's poor, Magoma, although injured, is going to come on and take up his role, meaning Robson's going to play that deep lying playmaker. We have De La Fuente, Karaimatang and Aina who we can use to come on, and at the moment I don't want to use them. Let's encourage them for this next 10 minutes. It's Otranto in, comes out and Odesina picks it up. Odesina tries to take on his man, but I don't think he's going to do it. He plays the ball in, it falls to Whitaker. Oh, I thought that had gone in. It flashes wide and it remains 0-0. That was our first proper highlight we've had since the start of the game, and we are going to make that final change, and I don't want to rock the defence, and there's no need to. So Karaimatang is going to come on for Kimpioka, who hasn't really done anything, and let's actually go in there, and we're going to change Whitaker over to a winger on support, and we're also going to do that for Karaimatang for this last 10 minutes. Fairly even game. Odesina probably the standout player, but it looks like we're going to extra time. Let's avenge them. Come on, let's avenge Torquay. Let's avenge Torquay and progress to league football. Do you want it? Show some passion. show that you want to be in league football. Otranto again, and it just flashes over. Is there a penalty? There is a penalty in the 106th minute, and our captain Otranto should be stepping up for this. It is Otranto, and he scores. It is 1-0, and I have noticed we have an injury to Karayamatang, and although I'd like to bring somebody on, I am struggling. I think we have a fourth substitute to use, but it looks like it might be Aina, but I'm not. I'm actually going to bring Aina on for Karayamatang and just let him sit in there. But Otranto has scored, and as things stand, we have league football next season and back-to-back promotions. It's Otranto, our captain, with the goal, and I wouldn't say it's against the run of play. It's been a balanced game so far. We do have the better team though. It's the start of the second half. We don't have long to hold on. If we can do it, we will be professional by the time we wake up tomorrow. And it's McDonald who's got that ball for them. And we are going to put some time wasting on there. It's McDonald out. Falls to Alfreton. A guy gets it. Magoma to Whittaker. Whittaker's there. Whittaker crosses it, and it's a goal. And a Gay has sealed it. Alfreton Town will be league football next season. A guy will need to look at this guy to bring him in. And what looked like unconvincingly, we were heading to extra time and penalties, and that Torquay could take it any time. 2 goals in extra time. And Morgan Whittaker, who has assisted that goal when normally so ball greedy, means we have promotion, and for a second season in a row. There is our celebrations, and it's took till the final game, almost the last kicks of the game. Passionately, well done on your promotion to the league. And that confirms it. So let's get through and see whether we've got, there's our initial budgets. So this is confirmation of promotion, and then board request meeting to turn professional. That is a great idea. Let's get that done. And the initial budgets for next season, please be very good. It's 22,500, so a couple of grand extra on there. Transfer budget of 227. I'm sure we'll be able to play around with that. It's not the worst. Certainly think we'll be one of the lowest in league football. And that's confirmation that the club announces that we will turn professional, and they will officially announce this on the 6th of July. If you've got this far, just hold on a few seconds more. If you've liked what you've seen, please like just down there. Also subscribe, you'll see what else is coming from the channel. We've got other football content coming, and potentially other series that you may enjoy. But this is Non-League to Glory. Thank you for watching. See you soon.
We are heroes tonight.